and guys, before I go ahead, I want to give you a disclaimer that I'm not a CAD expert in any way, shape, or form. I know enough to set up my drawings and do our electrical stuff, and that's what you're expecting. If you want to be a CAD expert, you need more classes, detailed classes, guys, and basically you're going to be in the architectural program because that's where we use it. Same thing for the Revit. You're going to go get into deeper into Revit, into the architectural part. You're going to be in the architectural. We know enough to do our electrical work. Okay, so when you walk in, guys, the most important thing, if you have not seen CAD, there are two screens so important that you must know them and know the difference between them. The first one is called the model space. Can you guys see that space that you're in here? It's called the model space. You draw almost everything in a model space. That's what we do. Everything, if you want to draw a house, you draw a line, you draw anything, you always draw in the model space. That's your model space. The second one is called the layout. Can you guys see layout 1? Click on layout 1, will you? Do you have two layouts? Layout 1, layout 2. Do you guys have layout? These are like, you know Excel. If you know Excel, like Excel, tabs. These are your tabs. You can layout 1, layout 2, layout 3, layout 4. Exactly like tabs of Excel. So what's the difference between layout and model? Layout is we after we draw, we print the layout. That's how we typically use it. We draw in the model space and we print in the layout space. Everybody got that major difference between them? So later on when you guys want to produce a product like this, 22 by 34, where do you think I need to set the page? They call it setting the page. I need to set the page in the layout. You need to set your page in the layout. Set your page, whatever size you want it. Right here, can you guys see this is, I believe this is 8.5 by 11 page. So if we print it, it will print 8.5 by 11. So when we start printing, which is coming, the first thing we need to do is set up my page. What page are you going to print? 11 by 17, 8.5 by 11, 22 by 34, and so forth. Okay, so we have the layout where we print, and you can create, if you guys right click here, and you can so activate model. Okay, so can you guys say we say new? You can create another, here's another layout 3. So you can create as many layouts as like tabs in Excel. You can create as many tabs as you want. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We got the layout. Cool. Okay, so that layout you can make any, and we're going to be using it a lot, believe me, later on. A layout, we're going to use a layout for E, first floor power, layout 1, first floor lighting, layout 2, first floor low voltage, layout 3, and if there is another system, you call it whatever, will be first floor layout 4 if there's another system. So we use them for systems. It's coming. So let's go back to the model space. Now in the model space, you have that grid. When you draw things, the grid will help you. Because we're not drafters, so to speak, I like to, the grid, here's your grid. The first thing you need to do, guys, so we have the model space layout right underneath it. Can you guys see these icons? Do you have the same icons that I do? Okay, somebody's mad. Can you guys see right here, hover over this. What do you see? Grid display. So if the grid bothers you when you draw, click on it, it disappears. Click on it, it appears. Disappears, appears. For all my work, I want it disappear. For the electrical work that we do, we don't want it, really. We don't care about it. If you're drawing a house, a grid will help you a lot. We don't draw the house. We draw little things, and we extract and plug our stuff. So the grid, but if you want it to appear when you draw, that's fine. You can toggle it, appear, and disappear. Okay? Can I have thumbs up, Chad? The grid is the most important thing. So let's turn it off here as it shows like this. That's the most important thing. Then, so right underneath it, guys, so I'm going to pick the important stuff right here, right next to the grid. It says ortho. So if you're drawing a line and you want the line to be ortho, you click ortho, click on ortho here. It says your ortho, you have your ortho on, ortho off. You can turn on, you click on it, you can make your ortho on or ortho off by clicking it on here. We'll practice it in a second. And then I'm going to leave these for a second I'll come to them in a second. I want you guys to go right here. Can you guys see the scale here? Click here. Do you see the scale? Now you want this one when you're in a model space. What's your scale? 1 to 1. An inch equivalent to an inch. When you draw here, a foot equivalent to a foot. You don't scale in the model space, you scale in the paper space later on. So leave this one as 1 to 1. Another way, guys, of switching between paper and model, can you guys see that? You can switch between model space and paper space, model space and paper space right here. If you click on the paper, so there you go. Either way here, or when you're in the model space right here, click on the model, it turns into a paper. So you went to the paper. It comes handy later on. I'll show you where, guys, it comes handy. But just be aware of right now. Let's go and get that one. Okay, let's go back to the model space like we did. Everybody's in the model space? Okay. Now, when you're here, let's just do a look at these ribbons here. Can you guys see where it says draw? If you want to draw something, here's all the icons that you need to draw from. Okay, we'll draw in a second. Right next to it, modify. If you have something to modify, here's all the icons that you need, or all the functions that you need to modify. Layers is a big deal. The layers that we're going to be using here is a big deal, guys. So here's all the information about layers that we're going to be using. And I'm picking certain things. Can you guys hover over utilities? And when it comes to softwares, Matt, the only way you can learn a software is to monkey around with it. So I'm going to tell you today, and you're going to forget some of the stuff. As you move on, just keep monkeying around with it. Ask. So when you measure, utilities, I use it to measure. If you want to measure a distance, can you guys see where it's a distance here? You can measure a distance. This comes very handy here. Clipboard. Do you guys have a clipboard? Everybody? Okay. Clipboard, if you copy something from Word document and you want to dump it into here, that's where it becomes paste. It's copy paste. You can, for example, if you want to type something and you're too lazy like Chad to type it in Revit, and Chad gave it to you guys in Word, you go to Word, copy in Word, and copy, and you come over here, paste it. It'll dump it right in there. All these guys supposed to expedite the process for you when you work. Okay. So these are the most important thing. Let's go ahead, guys, and before we do anything, units are a big deal. So do me a favor. Can you type units? Just type the word units. Okay. Type units. Can you guys see it's typing right in the middle of it? And hit enter. Do you see this word? Do you see this little window? When we draw, you have to draw based on the units. Right now, and you have to set up your units. Look at the length. If I draw a line right now, it will show decimals. I want to show, when we draw, guys, we show the architectural. Click it into architectural. So it shows the feet and the inches. That's the most important thing, because we draw things architectural way. The architects lead us. When they draw, they always show the feet and the inches. They don't show 150 inches, 0.3. Right? They don't show that. They show feet, inches. They don't say 200 inches, 0.55 of an inch. So you need to change this one always into architecture when you draw. Cool? Precision is fine. We'll leave it as is. Unit to scale, inches. So everything we're gonna leave it as inches. And I'm gonna go. Did you guys change this to inches? So if you're drawing something and the units look weird, make sure you just type units and change it into architecture. Cool. Hit OK. Now what we draw is going to be in inches and feet and inches. So do me a favor. See that line here? Click on the line. I want to draw a line. Okay. Did you guys click on the line? And click anywhere. Are you guys holding a line like I'm holding it? Right? Click anywhere and drag. Can you guys see the blue stuff? Can you guys see? Everybody can see the distance is 2, like this right now, is 2 feet and 10 inches and 7/8 of an inch, right? Does yours show this? Everybody shows inches and feet. That's the most important thing, basically, that you're going to do. Now, can you guys see this is not I can go in any angle, any direction. If you want to go ortho, which a lot of the stuff that we do, guys, in ortho, can you guys see, while you are holding this, can you see where it says ortho at the bottom? Everybody can see ortho? Click ortho. Now you can only move in 90 degrees from the location that you're in. Did you guys see that? Everybody tried that? So you're moving in 90 degree. Okay. Typically, because we're dealing with electrical, ortho becomes very handy for us. So without scanning or anything, guys, you put yourself in ortho, and if you type, let's type 10, and click the sign for the feet. Can you guys see that little sign for the feet? And hit enter. Now you got yourself at 10 feet. And you're still holding. Did you guys do that? Did it work for you? Should we do it again? Now go down another, go zoom out, go down another, and I'm going to go 10 feet this way. I'm going to type again 10 feet and put that little sign. Can you guys see that little sign of a feet? And hit enter again. Now it went another 10 feet. Another 10 feet. Now can you guys, if you can't see where you are right now, do me a favor. Hit the word Z, enter, E, oops, Z, enter, E, enter. Z, enter, E, enter. I think I got out of that function. I'll hit skip. Z, enter, E, enter. Did you guys do an angle of like this? Did you happen to do that? Like 10 by 10? I hope it's 10. Okay. Let me just go verify if it's 10. I don't know if the bottom one got 10. Can you guys see where it says measure here? Distance. And let's see if this is a 10, an actual 10. Yep. Can you guys see that? I verify it's 10. One more time. Let's go. Create a line. Click on a line. Click here. Type 10. Can you guys type 10? Put the symbol for a 10 and hit enter. You got yourself a 10-foot line. Right now, are you guys still holding the line? Now you want to, if you want to finish the function of a line, hit skip. Can you guys where it's hit skip? Hit skip. Now we have a line, 10 feet line. That's as easy as this, right? 10-foot line. Now I want to measure if is it 10 foot? How would I know it's 10 feet, right? How would you know it's in a 10 feet line? In order to measure it, guys, can you guys see where it says utilities here? This comes very handy for us as electrical engineers because we need to measure distances. Go to click into measure and click on the end to the other end. Can you guys see that? Does it verify that it's 10 feet? Everybody can see it's 10 feet. I am looking at 10 feet. So I measured at 10 feet and verified that this line is 10 feet. I want to remind you guys that with your friend Chad, you're not going to be doing this. We don't do a whole lot of draw. We do insert, connect, but this function will help you though. If you want to draw a line for whatever reason, it will help you do that. Matt, does it make sense? Did it work? Karen, good? So we verified that the units are in feet and inches, architectural, and we draw a line. We just draw a line. Now, if you want to delete the line, so you draw anything. Now, grab another, just draw anything you want. Just put, doesn't matter where. You know what I mean? Just draw a couple of things. A couple of things to know, guys, when you go, hit skip. When you have something, say if you want to delete. Oh, before we go delete, see if I want to zoom, look at that. If I want to zoom out, can you guys see I'm zooming in and out? If I want to zoom to see everything, there's a couple of functions, very, very important, the zooming function. What is it, view? View. Well, before we go into even view, if you type Z, enter, and E, enter, it will zoom out and to see everything as far as it can go, so you can see everything. So get used to, if you get lost and you don't know where you are, type Z and hit enter. That's like zoom all. Z, enter, E, enter will get you to look at everything. That function, I found it to be very helpful when we do electrical design. Z, enter, E, enter. Okay. If you want to delete something, you click on it, it's highlighted like this, and all what you have to do is just hit delete, and you delete it. Everybody got that one? If you right click here, guys, right click inside, it says repeat the last function that you want. You can paste things if you copy and paste. Recent inputs, recent stuff that you have done, all the functions that you have done here, it lists them in. All what you have to do is just right click on it, and it will get you what you have done, the last thing that you've done. So if you want to erase again, click erase, click on that one here, right click, and done. So we draw a line, we erase a line. Any comments, guys, about draw a line, erase a line, measure a line? So everybody knows how to erase a line, draw a line, measure a line, erase a line. That's what I want to. Okay, now let's go to something more tangible that we use all the time. So go pick the stuff that you did, guys, and erase them if you want to. Get rid of your stuff. And feel free to monkey around. You wouldn't screw up anything here. So feel free to copy things, paste, whatever. Arc. Can you guys see the arc? We use the arc a lot in the electrical. So if you want to draw an arc is a line between 3 points. A circle, of course, is a circle. A polyline is a line that keeps going and going and going. So let's try a polyline, guys. Go ahead and try it. Can you guys see how it goes? I have my ortho on. So it makes it really fast all the way. And here you go. And hit the scale. Look at that. I'm doing my polyline, and I have all my my polylines are created some type of a form. I don't care about the scale or anything. I'm just monkeying around with it. Okay. Any comments, guys, about the polyline? So if you want to, here's my polyline. It makes it, if you click on it, guys, can you see it's now it's all one unit? You can stretch it. If you decide to stretch one angle, can you guys see how it stretches? You can stretch certain things out of it. So that's another way you can draw. Okay. Now it is causing me havoc here. All right, so we got that one. Now let's go move it slightly to the side and go get yourself a circle. Here's a circle. Click a circle. When you click somewhere, this is the center of your circle. So let's just make a 10-foot circle. So all what you have to do now is type 10 and put the symbol of the feet, 10 foot. By the way, after you put the symbol of the feet, then if you type another number, that will be what? When you type the first number with the symbol of a feet, it will be feet. Second number will be inches. So let's type 6, the symbol of the feet, and 6 after that. So 10 feet 6 inches. You got yourself a circle with a radius 10 feet 6 inches. If you want to draw to scale. Now let's go measure that baby and see if we can get it. Here's the center. Can you guys see that? Here's your from here to here should get me. It defaults to the radius, I believe. There you go. It defaults to radius when you draw. You can move. We'll get into the moving in a second here. So Z enter, E enter, Z enter, E enter. You can look at everything that you have done so far. Z enter, E enter. Okay, I'm going to move it to the side, guys. Can you guys see how I moved it to the side slightly? And if you're not doing exactly what I'm doing, as long as you're monkeying with it and you're doing it, that's what I'm. I want you to pay attention to the arc though. The arc is a big deal. Let me know when you're ready for an arc. So let's go an arc. The reason why the arc is good, guys, because when we have multiple receptacles, Karen, we have to go connect them with an arc. Loop them. So click on an arc. You pick the first receptacle. All right, right now I'm an ortho. I'm going to go get rid of my ortho. Can you guys go get rid of your ortho? Here's my first point. Second point, can you guys see the arc is moving? And fourth point. There you go. Here's my arc. If you want to modify your arc, you click on it. Then you can, I'm going to move it slightly to the top, slightly to the bottom. I can modify my arc. I can extend my arc. I can move my arc slightly here. Can you guys see that? When you draw, these blue boxes are points where you can adjust at any time. Can I have thumbs up, Chad, that we know how to draw an arc and adjust an arc? Especially the arc, because it comes really handy when we do connect receptacles together. So draw a circle, draw an arc. You don't have to draw it to scale or to distance. You can if you want to. You can put the, like we said, put the distance, the feet and the inches. But for the arc, typically what we use it, Adam, is we use it to connect receptacles together. So it becomes very handy. If you select math, my friend, if you click on something, you selected it, which means you can do anything with it right now. If you hit delete, it will be deleted. If you hit, we'll get into the modification in a second. So if you pick, if you want to do something with an existing Z enter again, Z enter, E enter, here you go, all my stuff. If I want to select a bunch of things I've done, come from the upper, you grab the left click, come from the upper left corner, all the way, can you box them in? Everything that inside the box will be selected. One more time. Selecting things is a big deal, guys. If you box and hold the, what would that be? The left click button, make a box like this. Anything inside the box will be selected from you. If you go from top, from the left upper corner to the bottom right corner, that's anything inside the box will be selected. Completely inside the box. For example, very important when you select. If I go here, guys, look at this. Now, look at that curve is not completely inside the box. Would I be selected if I do it this way? Look at the difference here. Right now, the curve is not selected. Okay, from upper left corner to the lower right corner will get you anything inside, will select. If you go the other way around, you go from bottom this way, anything you touch, you select. Anything you touch, you select. If you go right to left, anything you touch, you select. Did you guys hear me? That comes very handy when we do. Come from the right, go to the left. Anything you touch, you select. You touch, not you enclose. Can't believe how many comes handy, these little things. I know you guys did it with Marianne, but especially the ones who did not do CAD, guys. These becomes very handy when we do, you want to, say you want to move this circle. Okay, well, circle is easy, but I want to move these two together. There are two ways of moving them. I click here and I click here, I pick them up, right? And then, can you guys see that now modify, I'm going to modify. Can you guys see that little symbol here? Everybody can see that, click on it. Now I can click a center point and move them. Can you guys see I'm moving them together? Where do I want to move them, Chad? You can move them 10 feet from here. Type 10 and put the feet and enter. I have moved them 10 feet away from where they are, supposedly. If you want to select them together, all of them, box them in. One way of doing it. Anything, if you come from right to left, anything you touch, you select. Left to right, anything you box in, you select. Can I get you guys to give me a thumbs up for selecting? Right to left, select anything you touch. Left to right, select anything you box in. That comes handy when you throw a couple of receptacles in the wrong direction, in the wrong location, and when you move them. So you need to pick them up. One way of picking them up is one at a time. The faster way of picking them up is to select them, either box them in. The best way would be box them in and then move them. Okay, So what we did, guys, I want to make sure that we know how to draw a line, a polyline, a circle, and an arc. And by the way, there's so many ways of drawing a circle. You can put 2 points for a circle, 3 points for a circle, 4 points. We care less. The default for you would be the radius. Can you guys see it? You can have diameter, you can have radius. I believe your default would be a radius. So can you guys see that when you put 10 here? If you don't put any units next to it, what's the default? If I put just 10, no units, what's my default? Inches. You default to inches. If you want it feet, you have to put the symbol for the feet right here. Can you see that? And enter. So radius of 10 feet. One more time. Arc, again, here's my arc. You can also, for your arc, you can specify the distance of your arc, 10 feet, enter, and then you can go to the other distance, another 10 feet, enter, and here's my arc that I did, basically, and now it's gonna, of course, it's gonna change the distance because, so the most important thing I found it with the arc is the ability to adjust it. Can you guys see that? Because it comes very handy. So Derek, my friend, when you loop your receptacles, the line will be right to the top of the receptacle. When you come red line with chair, they say, oh my God, it just looks crap right to the top of it. So what do? You come over here, this is right to the top. You move it slightly this way, it makes your drawing look what? Nicer. That's if we're looping. By the way, we're not going to do spaghetti. We call them spaghetti. We're only going to do spaghetti for residential projects. After that, we don't do spaghettis. Just FYI. But I'd like you to do spaghetti at least once. We call them spaghetti when we connect things together. When you get into this, can you guys hit Z enter, E enter? That will zoom you all out. Skip, skip, skip. Z enter, E enter. If you want to and the other way, guys, you can do, if you hold, you don't have a mouse, but the ones who have a mouse, if you hold the mouse, it will turn it into the hand that you can move things around. Can you guys see that? The whole thing can be moved around. Everybody know that? If you hold the mouse, that comes very handy. Don't do that a lot with Revit because you move the whole building and you get the center of it. So, but you can move the whole plan. You move it to the side. Look at that. I'm going to move it away from me. Bring it back. Okay. See, enter. E enter. Any comments, guys? So we draw a circle, a line, and 3-point arc, which is very handy. Now, these are the most important things. Feel free, Karen, to putz around and draw other things and do whatever you guys, especially this week. Next week, we don't want you to mess around with, we're going to start doing other things. Now, let's do a couple of functions here, guys. When you draw, if you want a rectangle, can you guys see when you draw, there is a whole rectangle here. You can pick a rectangle right in here and draw, and it will draw a rectangle for you. Polygon, you can draw a polygon. Skip it. So you can specify the legs and do it. You have ellipse. Look at that. You can make an elliptical shape and draw these. So I'm just showing these guys as an example. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the draw, and I want you guys to practice them. Just to practice them. Okay. Any comments, guys, about draw? So, Derek, my friend, if you want to draw anything later on for Chad, you're going to go to the model space, draw, pick whatever thing that matches the drawing that you want to do. Is it a line? Is it a circle? Is it a square? Typically, what we draw, guys, being electrical engineers, we don't draw buildings because that's the architects. You know, what we draw is symbols, and when we draw symbols and one-line diagrams, the scale is not a big deal because we don't draw to scale when we have risers and one-line diagram and so forth. But though you can draw draw to scale means you have to pay attention to the dimension as you draw. That's all. Then you can scale it later on. Okay, do me a favor. Go clean some of your stuff. Click on, I'm going to go clean. So pick something and delete it. That's how we clean. Clean something. Leave one thing or two. I'm going to go clean my junk here. The enter. There you go. Let's just leave. Can you guys, if you have, leave a circle so we can work a little bit with the circle. Can you leave a circle or something? All right, so maybe we should put a line here. Oh, there's one thing I would like you guys to pay attention to before you. Are you guys ready? Do you have some circle or something? Okay, snap. Can you guys snap right at the bottom where it says snap? The snap, when you turn snap, if you get, I think settings, there you go. Okay. Is it the snap settings? There you go. Do me a favor. Can you guys see that little icon here? This is intersect constraints. That's where you snap. Everybody can see that? Can you right click on that little icon here and get settings? These are all the constraint bar display settings. That's the constraint. We need the snap though. Where was the snap here? I think in one of them should give me the snap settings. Is it this way? Snap here, snap mode, snap settings. Okay, snap. There you go. Can you do me a favor right here? I want the snap. Can you go say snap, guys, here? Can you click on snap, right click on snap and hit settings? And when you go there, go to object snap. When you snap, meaning if you want to tie a line to a line, where do you want to tie it to? Do you want to tie it to the end of the line? The middle of a line, perpendicular to the line, right? Where do you want to tie it? So here's the option when you want to tie or connect a conductor to a line to a line. It says end right now is used default to end snap center, right? End and center. You guys default. I like to when I work with them intersect quadrant blah blah blah. I like nearest. Can you guys see where it says nearest? Click nearest. When we start throwing receptacle on a wall and you want the receptacle to attach to the wall, if you hit nearest, start looking for a line and attach it to the nearest line. So if you're good with, so here's the wall here and I'm grabbing my receptacle like this in my hand. And as I approach the wall, it will attach it to the wall. Nearest comes very handy for us. Doing electrical, it comes very handy. Or you can attach it to the end point. You can change these at any time. So end point, center, intersect, extension, nearest, perpendicular. You can click on perpendicular to tangent. Let's look tangent a little bit. And you can change them at any time or pick them at any time. Pick a few of these guys just to play with them. We can change them at any time. The one that I like a lot is nearest later on. But let's just pick these. Hit OK. Let's grab a line. Can you guys see when you hit now you're snapping? Can you guys see snap to nearest? Everybody can see now. I'm snapping to nearest. Here, can you guys see where it shows that little icon? Say, where do you want to tie it to this side? Do you want to tie it to the closest? There you go. Snap right here, nearest. Bam. So it allows you to snap your conductors. Okay, take another wire. I want to attach it. Can you guys see immediately right here? It will snap it to the end of that line. Snap to the end of that line. Right here. Now, look at this. It snapped it to nearest. I want to snap. So if I want to snap these two together, perpendicular, can you guys see that what changes right now? I want you guys to look at this. If you click right here, Right now, this is if I click, that's perpendicular to this line. Otherwise, it's closest. So it gives you the where do you want to snap to which area. I like, again, for us, closest works really good. So click here, and that will snap these wires together. Hit skip, skip. And these are all the wires, the connection that we do. Can I have thumbs up, Chad, for snapping? Snapping. Snap to nearest becomes very handy for us. Okay. Now snap object. See where it says snap object here? Snap object, you can snap two objects or turn it on and off by this one is my snap object. I can turn it on or off. On, off, on, off. Can you guys see when you click on it? You can turn that snap on or off. When we are working, sometimes it's nicer to have it off. So let me see if it's, here it goes out on. Let's turn it, snap off. So you can turn your snap on or off. Typically, if you leave it on, it's easier to attach your devices, your electrical symbols to the walls. Your electrical symbols to the walls. Okay, hit skip. If you are in the middle of a function and you want to get out of it, what do? Hit the word skip, 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 skip. You're up and running. Skip, Z enter, E enter. Here you go. Skip, Z enter, E enter. Okay. Okay. If you guys turn the snap off, can you guys see it doesn't touch? It doesn't tell you if you snap it off. If you're trying, that happens, Karen, when you're trying to grab your receptacle, and I bring red line for me, and your receptacle is slightly not attached to the wall. You need to go turn your snap on and move it. Turn your snap on and move it. Snap object or object snap. You're going to see, guys, all these comes very handy when we start working with a project. Everybody can see that when we start working with the actual project and moving things, it becomes very handy. Okay. So we got you guys the snap object. You can see where they turn them on and off. Snap to object. Now I would like you guys to go to this. So we draw. You can draw a lot of stuff, Matt. Anything you want, you can draw here. The limit is the sky. Bless you. I want you guys to come to this function. This is a move. Comes very handy. So click on move. When you click on move, what do you want to move? I want to move the whole, well, I want to move, if you move the whole thing, you wouldn't see it, right? I just want to move one section. Just move one thing. Then right click, then grab it, and now you're holding it in your hand. You're moving stuff. You're moving it. If I want to move this circle, click on the circle. Right click, I want to move it from this way. See where they're attached. So I'm moving the circle. So moving, guys, you pick the function, move, then you click on the object that you want to move, then you right click, then you left click and you move the object. Did you guys hear me? First click on that move, then click on the things that you need to move, then right click, then left click and start moving. How many clicks? Can you guys please practice moving? Please take anything you want to move. Doesn't matter. Move anything. I want you to know click and move. Let me draw something so shows relative. I'm going to go draw a circle right in here. Just a little circle. And I'm going to practice moving it. Click on move. Pick it up with the left click. Right click. Pick from where do you want to move it from the center? And where am I going to move it? I'm going to move it all the way to the center of that baby. Can you guys see that? Click. So I moved it to the center. Can you guys, everybody practice it? Know how to move? I wouldn't ask you guys when you design to go move things, but you will be part of your design, will be easier to move it instead of redraw. Rotate. Can you guys see the function rotate right next to it? So we know how to move. Can we rotate a little bit? Let's go rotate. Click on rotate. What do you want to rotate? I want to rotate. Well, let's these two objects. Pick them up. Right click. Pick the point. Well, they're circles now. It's hard to see it because they're circles. You wouldn't see the rotation in them. Let's do something that's other than circle. Rotate something that makes. There you go. I grabbed something. I'm going to rotate it. Highlight the thing that you want to rotate. Right click. Specify the point. Can you guys see now I'm rotating? Everybody can see I'm holding and rotating. Where do you want to rotate it? This way. If you want to put your ortho on, now you start moving in ortho. Rotating it in ortho. There you go. Rotate the object 90 degree. And you can rotate them with any degree that you want. Can you guys practice rotating an object one more time? You pick rotate. Pick the object that you want to rotate. Right click. Pick the point that you want to rotate it. I want to rotate from this point. Can you guys see I'm holding it from this point? Then you can put angles though. You can type angles 45. And if you want to put an angle, it rotate it at 45 angle. Most of the stuff, Karen, that we do is we rotate at 90 degree. So what we do is just highlight it. Right click, pick the end of it. Oh, I moved. This is move. So rotate, pick it up, right click. Oops. Right click, pick the point that you want to rotate, and then put your ortho on. Oh, it was on. And you start, can you guys see, start moving in 90 degrees? That's what most of the stuff that we do. We move in 90 degrees. If you want in other degrees, you can move it. Can I have thumbs up, Chad? We know how to rotate. It comes very handy, guys. Very handy when we're working with rotation. Very handy. Matt, does it make sense? Are you good with softwares? Yeah. Okay, so it's really, guys, most of the softwares are the same. The best way of learning a software is to play with it. So when you have the time here, go back and review all this stuff on your own time, putz around with it, move it around, and these are skills that you take into CAD when we start doing the actual design. Because when we're doing the design, I'm not going to tell you go rotate an object. You're going to put a receptacle. You grab your receptacle, is oriented this way, but you want to put it this way. So how are you going to do it? You're going to go rotate the receptacle so it matches the wall. Okay, we did the snap objects. We did the rotation. Copy. Can you guys see where it says copy here? Do me a favor. I'm picking a certain function that comes handy. Click on copy. Now, if you have a receptacle and you really want to copy that receptacle to another wall, that's how we copy. So first of all, pick the copy, highlight the thing that you want to copy, right click, pick the point that you copy it from, and off it goes. Can you guys see that? Now I have an identical, and you keep going and going until you hit what? Escape or enter. I copied this one 3 times. Now, Adam, this comes very handy when you have a room that needs 4 receptacles. You drop one receptacle there. You can go ahead and drop the other 4, or you can copy one and bam, 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 right around the circle. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? The copy function. Okay. So, zoom out a little bit. I like, can you guys see scale? Scale becomes very good, and I'm picking certain things from it. Can you guys see scale? Am I going too fast, by the way? Give you a few seconds to practice it. Should I? So I'm picking a few things that becomes handy. Scale comes very handy. Can I grab? Are you guys ready for scale? Karen, good. Okay. Oh boy, you're doing a lot of good stuff in 3D. Rotating it. Okay. can always highlight anything and delete and start over. So that's good. That's the intention, guys. Again, is really bouncing around here. Um, Now, I want to scale. Scale becomes very handy, guys. Matt, here's what happened. You grab a little receptacle symbol and you put it on a parking lot, and it looks very small. You can't see it when you print. Oh my God, I can't see that thing. Typically, we bring them to scale, but say if that happens, you need to scale it. So if you grab scale, can you guys click on scale? Can you guys see all? I'm going to scale something so I can know it. I'm going to go grab one of these. Just this is, I'm going to scale it, right? So pick it up, right click, put the point you want to scale it from. Pick any point. I'm going to scale it from this point. Can you guys see that? This point. Can you guys see now it's going bigger? How much do you want to scale it? If you type 2, that will double, basically scale it twice. It becomes twice as big. And hit enter. Now I have scaled the object twice as big as it is. Now, Adam, say if you want to cut it by half. So what do? Scale it by 0.5. Done, right? So if you want to scale it, bring it back again. So I want to cut it by half. That comes very handy, guys. Pick it up, right click, and type 0.5 and enter. I didn't pick up the point though. I should pick up my point here. Scale, pick it up, right click. You have to pick your point first, right in here. Now type 0.5 and enter. So I brought it back to the same size. I scaled it twice. When you scale it 0.5, you basically bring it back to the same distance. So scaling things, guys, comes very handy. You know, here's a mistake that a lot of people do. When you scale, copy, delete, make sure you pick only the object that you want to scale, copy, or delete. If you pick another object with it, what's going to happen? You either delete or scale or screw up another thing that you don't want to do. That's so being able to watch what you're doing, guys, and only pick the thing that you want to work on that's what we call it, the precision. Precise. Any comments, guys? Any questions about scaling it? So let me see if we can get, we got copy, we got mirror. Mirror, if you pick these, I want to mirror them, right click. If you draw a line here, can you guys see? It mirrors everything that you do. One more time. Mirror, so you have a bunch of receptacle here. Can you guys see these, all the receptacles at the top? I want to flip them to the other side. Look what we're going to do. Can you guys see it? Click on that mirror. Click on mirror. Pick the things that you want to mirror. Right click. Then pick a point. Which line? Where do you want to mirror them? So you want to flip them from here to here, from here to here. So I'm going to flip them up. So I'm going to draw a line from here. Can you guys see that now? I can do it this way. I can do it this way. I can mirror them this way or this way. Can you guys see that? I'm click here. Where did I go? It should get them. So click mirror. These are right click. What happened? I'm missing a function here in that one. All right. So anyway, it should flip it to the direction that you want. I think I'm missing one little function. I don't know. Right click. Okay, ortho. Enter. There you go. You have to hit enter. At the end, after the direction that you want to mirror at. So I'm going to go flip these. Right click, click here all the way, then hit enter. Okay. Click, hit enter. Yeah, you have to hit enter at the end, and that will flip it to the other end. I wasn't hitting enter. Were you guys able to mirror things? Do you see it handy? Comes a handy tool. So now we mirror the things. These are, I don't use a lot of mirrors, but it comes handy. These are the ones I want to focus. You can guys go ahead and extend and stretch and do all this stuff, but between copy, rotate, and mirror and scale, these are the most important ones, guys. This one can, oops. you can have an area of the same thing. So okay, I click on that one here. So but we're not, so you guys go ahead and practice with them. Like I said, you can make, and this comes handy when we do, we'll go over it when we go Karen, when we do a lighting calculation, we'll go into the area. It covers the multiple things of the same thing. um, so they're all one big set. Okay, any comments, guys? Any questions? Comments, questions? I know it's kind of a good start to get you in there. So just a quick review before I give you 5 minutes, and then I'm going to jump into something slightly, not a lot. Everybody knows the model space, that's where we draw. When you go to the layout, that's where we print. Later on, we're going to see the printing. When you draw, you're going to start with the ribbon that says draw with all the icons that you have here. If you have something already drawn, you want to modify it, you can you can modify it from all these. If you have an object like this, guys, well, later on we'll get into explode and all this stuff. But that's what I wanted to kind of get into it. There's one thing I want to highlight is if you click on something and right click and go property. One more time. So this comes handy too. I'm going to go delete all my area here. Just start with one of these. Click on one of the objects. Pick any object, right? Right click on it and hit property. That will give you the property of this object. Karen becomes so important because when you put your lighting fixture in the building, you want to see, are they in the right layer? Thickness, all this stuff. So can you guys see the first thing is the layer that comes with it? It's on layer 0. Look at the type of the line that you can do. And again, we'll talk about these. The plot style, the thickness, the material, all the coordinates and all this good stuff. But the most important thing is the color or is by layer, the layer that it's on it, the type of the line type, the line type scale. This comes an issue, Adam, when we draw a dotted line in a parking lot and you see, Chad, I grabbed the dotted line, but it's not showing dotted line. Because the scale of the line does not match the scale of the drawing. Because if the dotted line are that far away from each other and you scale them different, these gap between them will not be able to be seen by the naked eye. So when you print them, it wouldn't show up. So you have to go change the scale. We will play with this one as it comes. But I want you to understand that as you pick or draw or drop anything, you can always click on it, right click, and it will get you either quick property right in here. That's a quick property, or right click. I like the property by itself because it gives you everything you need to know about this object that you drop, especially the layers and so forth. Okay, so we got that one, guys. Got the mode. Okay, so we have 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go into the layers, talk a little bit about layers. Shall we? Thank you. Let's go directly into this. Now, suppose that you need delete that one. Be very careful. Okay, let's see what we have here. Z enter, E enter. Okay, do me a favor. Where's okay, edit. View, select home. We'll talk about annotation and all this good stuff. All right, can you guys select all the stuff that you did and delete it? Just delete this stuff. Have a blank stuff that you do. Okay, delete it. Have a blank piece of paper like this, or a model space. So home. So now suppose that you want to have a text. Let's see what we have for text here. Second year textbook. I want to open this page just for the heck of it. Close. So suppose I want to take what Chad have done here, copy it, right click, copy something, and minimize it. Right click. Where's my paste option? Clip, paste option. And click on it here. Okay. So that's how it looks like if you copy something directly into the paper space. It's like linking you back into it. Can you see that? That's one way of copying. The other way is start your text here. Can you see where text here? Everybody can see where text. Click on the text. Use multi-line text. Everybody can see text, multi-line text. Double click here to open and expand. Can you guys see that? One more time. Let me escape it. No. Okay. Let's go one more time. Click on text and make sure you get the multi-text. Right? Can you guys see that? Everybody's there? Double click on it or click so you open it. You can expand it slightly by dragging it here. Can you guys see I'm dragging it? What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my Word document and see if I can copy this and put it right into the text box that I created. Paste. You can see now I got myself, you have to expand it, of course, so you can see it. I got everything that Chad have done in this format. And you can expand it at the bottom here. Can you guys see that? The first one, if you copy paste, it gives you a picture. Clean that one. Oops. I cleaned all of them. That's not a big deal. Let me go back. Oh, here's back. Back. There you go. Back again. I want to delete one, not all of them. So now I got myself, instead of typing all this stuff in Rev and CAD, I got it all already typed in whatever color and whatever format that you have. Any comments, guys? Then what you do with this, you can format that thing. Did you guys can you do me a favor? Open the textbook, type something or copy something and paste it into that textbook, in the text, the multi-line text. Just grab something, anything. Now that I have a text, say I want to go to the top here, and I want to change the top. Okay, now I'm going to go change. Can you guess? I highlighted the top, and I'm going to make it. It was bold. Can you guys see that? I can bold it or unbold it. I can make it what do you call it? Italic or not. I can underline it. You can do anything you want with the text. Do you see that, guys? So when you start doing the tile block for Chad and all this good stuff, you can play with these text. Now look at the size. The size is 1/4 inch. Now suppose I want it bigger than 1/4 inch. Let's just say I want it half. So just go make 1/4 inch to 2/4, right? And hit enter. Now that text became twice as big. Okay? Became a half. Now, can you guys see that? Now, suppose I want to bring it back into 1/4 inch. All what you have to do is make this one at the bottom here 1/4. Can you guys see there where I'm typing right there? 1/4, hit enter. Now we went back to 1/4 inch. Can I have a thumbs up, Chad, how we manipulate that text to make it bigger, smaller, underline, you name it. So that's, now I want to change it to completely a different text. Close it here. Here's your text, the options that you have. All the options, here's all your text that you can use. Any and all of these options of text. Can you guys see that? Way at the top, you can use any text style, whatever they call them, that you want. Can you guys see that? Everybody can see how you can change the text, adjust the text. Matt, does it make sense? It doesn't have to be the text that you copied. The reason why I copied because I want to make it sure that you know, guys, that when you open the text box, you can go copy from the documents that I told you. For example, Adam, I want to ask you to have a drawing list for me on the tile block, the first page. Okay, you can have the drawing list that I gave you guys. It's type it, or you can get it because it's in a Word document, copy it, dump it in there, massage it, make it looks nice, and then off it goes.
How did you get it to blend in with the black? How did you get it? Because you know how it looked like it was in Word, you know?
You the text. Yeah. You first open that one, click here, click your text. Here's your text, open it. Now copy paste into the text, not into CAD, into the text. You have to open that one first. So now we know how to copy text. What type of text and what size of text that comes when we start doing the drawings, guys. Um, so, okay, here's my, double click on the text, then you can format that text. I don't know if you guys can see right here, numbering of, I can take a number. Can you guys see where you can format exactly like Word, right? I can make adjust. You're in a Word, almost in a Word document. Numbering is on. Here's you can see how I list them. You can everything you need to do. Can I guys get you because that drove me nuts? Yes, yes. You can here's the scale now. This is 13th, 3/16. You can make it. I'll give you guys later on the scales that we're going to use to match. Okay, so look what that. Can you guys see how you can adjust the text exactly like Word? You can what do you call this justification? You can justify it to the right, to the left, to the middle. Are you guys familiar with Word document? We can justify the text up, down, to the right, to the left. Justification. I'll be with you in a second. Then I think this we can increase the space between it. That's making the space between the lines. 1.5, 2. You guys are familiar with that, right? Are you good with Word? When you can make the space between the lines bigger or smaller? So that's all manipulation, guys, of manipulation of the text. What else can we do? Text comes by layer. By layer, we keep it by layer though. You don't want to change it to anything else. And I'll tell you why we keep it by layer. Because there's text that goes with power, Text goes with light, goes light. So that's basically it in terms of text style. Here's my text style, standard text style. Yeah, we don't want that one. So the sizes that you can go, can you guys see? I can flip to any of these sizes, any or all of these sizes, and get them to size differently. Okay, before I leave the text alone, guys, I would like you to assure me that you know how to open a text window. You know how to type, either type, I didn't type, but you can type, or copy paste into it. How to change the style, how to adjust and justify, right? Is that, Matt, does it make sense? Adjust, justify, up, down, how to bullet it if you want to, number if you want to. Now, look what happened. Now, suppose I want to, now here's my text. Suppose I want to scale it twice. You don't want to do that though. Say, here's my text here. I want to scale it twice, double it. Look what I would do. The whole text, come scale, pick the whole text exactly like if it was a drawing, right click, grab one corner and multiply, put 2 and hit enter. So that will increase my text, double the size of my text, or scale it twice. Here's what happened, Karen. If your drawing is here and your text is here and you can't see it, that's because the scale of your text is so small. It's hidden. If you zoom deep into it, it's hidden, tiny little dot in the corner. So that happens all the time. You start typing and Chad, I swear I typed the whole thing. I can't see it. Well, guess what? Because you have two things scaled at two different sizes. Some of them is too small to be seen. Some of them is too small to be seen. Any comments, guys, about the scale? Karen, does it make sense? A little bit? Well, you're sick of the text. You don't want it. What do? Pick it, and what's the word that you get rid of it? Delete. Like when you put your text, Matt, it becomes like any other line. You don't want it, hit delete, done. You hit it, you delete it, done. And look at that. It's like the color here is blue. If I don't want blue, I want it by layer. I can just hit by layer here. Some of them are coming as a blue, and typically here's by layer too. This is coming as red. I can go by layer and change them. Can you guys see how I change them by layer? Now you probably don't know about what by layer is. By layer is later on it's a big deal. Meaning every time you pick that particular layer, this text will come exactly as you want it to come. That's what we like to, when it comes to CAD, guys, we like to work by layer. We would like to work by layer. And I'm going to open the topic of layers tomorrow, not today, because it's a good topic to open. But I want you to, what I would like you guys today is to take that text like I did, copy it, manipulate it, will you? Just manipulate it, you know. There you go. So can you guys see that you can expand it? You can expand that text top and bottom to fit your stuff if you ran out, because when you scale it, you screwed up the scale or whatever. You can if you want to change the size, you have to highlight the text. That drove me nuts when I was doing CAD. Is you think if you don't highlight the text, it wouldn't change it. Did you guys hear me? So first, say if I want to only change this, I highlight that thing, and then it only change it into, go make it red. Now it's red. You have to highlight the text in order to change the color, the layer, the size, the type, bold or not bold, whatever, underlined. You can make them upper and lowercase like we do in you know, that comes very handy. Can you guys see when you highlight? You can make them lowercase, or you can come over here and make them uppercase. So because CAD, we do a lot of uppercase stuff. So if it came as a lowercase, highlighted uppercase, like in CAD, in Word. That's your manipulation of the text. Manipulation of the text. What size text we're going to use and all this stuff coming as we start setting our scale. Because the size of the text that you're going to use, Karen, will depend upon what type of a scale drawing that you're using in order to show good. Because ultimately, guys, you're giving the contractors in CAD a piece of paper that should look good on that piece of paper. Okay, can close that one. Okay, so that's the text. I wanted to manipulate a little bit of the text. I don't want to talk about the layers because I want to open them. We're going to play with the layers tomorrow. I want to go over. So we got that one, get the text. We got the manipulation. I would like you guys to. So my expectation, guys, when we finish this one is you will continue to putz around with it, adjust it. I can help you with it. But what I'd like you to go now is go to here, to File. Show you a few things very important. Go right here to File. Look at this. You can, and I know some of you have done it, you can start new drawing here. So if you want to start new drawing or save the drawing or do whatever you do, believe it or not, you're going to come click on that big A. Save will save what you have done. Save as will give you the option of saving it as different formats, either CAD format or different formats. Export, it gives you, export is very powerful. So Karen, after you finished your stuff, you want to export it into a PDF file. Have you done that? Export things to PDF file. So you can go there and export all your work into PDF. Why would you care about PDF file? Because not everybody has CAD, right? Not everybody have CAD, but a lot of people have. If you have a laptop, you have a PDF. Well, yes, you can do it in paper space. Yeah, but that's coming. Print to PDF, so that will allow you to export to PDF to send to somebody else or any other format. Publish, you can publish it to, I don't use a lot of publishing, email it or any of these. Print. Print is where you guys come, plot it. You can plot, you can page set up. We're going to mess with this one later. So that's your printing mechanism. Now I'm going to move with that one. So these are the most important thing I'm going to highlight is the new. You can new drawing. You can open another drawing. You can save. You save as and export. These are the end print. These are the function that you can get from here. You can also exit CAD altogether here. But I want to, the point that I want to, so everybody familiar with this? Believe it or not, some people say, Chad, where am I going to plot? Where's my plotting function? Whatever. So click on that big A. It will give you multiple options. Do me a favor. Is yeah. Now remember, when we plot from where? Paper space. Though, can I plot from the model space? See if I want to show my friend, my colleagues, something that I've done. I care less about the scale, care less about anything. Just sketch. Can I plot? Yeah, you can plot from anywhere. But typically, we plot from the paper scale. Okay, can you guys hit option? That's where I want you to go to option. When you go to option, it opens a whole bunch of things for you. The most important thing is window element, they call them. It gives you all these options. Any one of these clicks will make your window look different. So if you, for example, I want you guys to click on layout, click on that one because it happens all the time, layout element, and hit apply. What happened to the layout here? What happened to your layouts? Did they disappear? Did you guys click on display, layout, and models and hit apply? Did your layout disappear? That happens a lot to the students. Say, Chad, I lost my layout. That's because there's a button somehow when you were monkeying around, you clicked on the button. So go back again, click on display, layout, and model tabs, they call them, and hit apply. And guess what? Your model tabs is there. Guys, CAD, you can spend all your life working with the drafting in CAD and you become an expert in that arena. Some of you will, and you will be 10 times better than me in CAD, and others will continue to be designers and they know jack of all trades, know a little bit of everything, and to run a project. Yeah, you know. But that's an option. That's a common mistake. Color. I want you guys to click on color. How many of you got bothered by black? Right, the black color in the back. Do you want to change the color black? So it says two mode model. Let's just say, can you guys, when you click on the color, one more time, let me see here. Can you guys see the color right here? Everybody can see it, color. Let's go change this one into red. Hit red and apply and close. Look what happened. What happened to your background? Turned into a red. You can't believe how many people like to do that. So, well, I don't like it, CAD. I don't like red, so I'm going to go back and put it white. I'm going to make it white and apply and close. Now your model space is white as well as your paper space. I don't like to make my model space white and my paper space white because you get confused when you go between them. So if you prefer a different color, black is hard on the eyes sometimes. If you prefer to work on different color matte, feel free to come over here, change it into magenta, for example, and click here. Now here's your model space turn into magenta. I have a lot of people change it into a white to work on white background. Did you guys hear me? Does it make sense? That comes very handy. So click on the color here. So that's your, how about sheet? Now this is the model space. How about the sheet and layout? Your sheet and layout were white, right? Say if you want to change, everybody knows the model space was black. The sheets were white. Say if I want to change the sheets into blue, you can go and change your sheets into blue. Now your sheets, if you click on your sheets, when you go there, it will show blue. If you don't, I would rather personally leave them as is. So you go back to make these black for background and for the layout, white for the layout. White for the layout. But I just want you to know that this is how you change it. Matte, does it make sense? So it helps you, if, especially when we start using colors later on. Colors on black might be hard on the eyes, so feel free to change it to any other color. Remember, this is just for your comfort zone. When you work in CAD, guys, But that's how you change it. Cursor. See your cursor, guys? Um, is this so? Say if you want your cursor or your um, to be larger. So can you guys see that one? I'm going to make mine as large as I can. Click on that one here, crosshair size, and click here. Can you guys see now? Do you see? Have you ever, when you work at Mishrat, have you ever seen people having this cross line? Now, yours? That's exactly how we change it. So a lot of people, guys, like to have these cross lines, so you can pick things and you can move them around, and it gives you the reference. If you like to do that, and a lot of people who work at CAD, you see them with two of these lines all over the crosshair. That's how we change it. So go back again to options, always in options, display, and you can change it back into the normal size, apply. So these are the things that comes to my mind. And again, I'm not an expert in CAD, but that comes to my mind that from my experience comes, it might make it easier for you to work in CAD. Any comments, guys, about the display? So if something got screwed up in the way your window look, always go to display. Now, if you go to open and save, this is the defaults that you can go save. When your default to save is default as a DWG. Oh, by the way, when you save CAD, your extension for the CAD file is DWG. For Revit is different, Revit. But for CAD is DWG, meaning if you have any DWG file, you can open it in CAD. If you have a software that accepts any DWG file, means you can import that DWG into that software. That becomes handy when we use visual later on. We go import a DWG file. So remember, it's a DWG file. So that's your default. You can have it different, I guess, and 2013. You know what so Derek, you would think, why would you want to save? Anybody can give me, why would you want to save it on AutoCAD 2000? Can anybody give me an option? Thank you. You have a customer that has an AutoCAD 2000, not AutoCAD 2013. If you send them 13, I believe they wouldn't be able to open it. So what do you need to do? You need to save it in an older version. That happened to me in a couple of jobs. Older version. You save yourself a new version, but you save a version for them, older version, so they can open it. That comes very handy. Because not everybody, guys, goes all the way to the latest version. Look at that. This is 2000. Oh my God, they go to all the way to R12. And so there's a lot of options here that you can use. Some of these I honestly don't use them a lot, so if anybody have used them, jump in, and so I'm just looking at the stuff that I use. When you do the plotting, default plot setting for new drawings, when you default, it defaults you right now to Microsoft XPS document writer 8.5 by 11. Later on, you guys going to see that that it will you can change it anytime. But if you don't pick what type of paper, it will default it to 8.5 11, which you can change it. If you plot to file, there's two types of plotting. Plot to printer. There you go, goes in front of you. Plot to file. When you plot to file, meaning you just want to plot it, and typically put it in the PDF format, and it's for just so you can seal it. Done. When I print it, I'll print it. If you don't specify where do you want to plot, do you guys see where it goes? User, Kircha, this is my username, and documents. That's how it saves it. So if you want other location to save to other location, for example, Derek, if you work at your firm and you want it to go to the server where the project is, you can go there and change it to go directly to the server when you plot the file. So it comes handy. Leave it for the time being as is. Options. Keep the layout paper size if possible. So these are a couple of, I don't use the printable area, specify plot offset, printable area, plot setting, stamp. You can mess around with the plot setting stamp and so forth. We're not going to mess with that one. Okay, so that's under plotting. Systems, I don't use a whole lot of under systems, guys, but later on we might, you might find you have to change certain things on the system. User preferences, window standard behavior, double click editing. This is how you identify double click on when you double click on something, what do you need to do? Edit it. Shortcut menu and drawing areas, window standard behavior. So these are a couple of things, defaults. Default setting with units are set in inches. If you are working on a project and you want them in centimeters, you can set them here in centimeters. Hybrid display field, keyboard intercept. Okay. So these are a couple of things: block edit, line default settings, and line weight settings. Here's the line weight settings is here. So, but I personally, I don't mess with these. So if I didn't mess with it and I'm doing it design, you probably most likely don't need a 4-hour application. You might later on, Derek, when you become the expert in CAD, need them, but just be aware that they exist. Drafting. In the drafting, we have auto snap setting, marker, a whole lot of this. I don't mess with these drafting tool settings. So 3D model, I don't use it for 3D, but if you're using CAD is capable of doing 3D. What we defaulted here, don't worry guys, is we use the 3D with Revit. When we talk 3D, we'll be talking Revit, but you can do 3D. Okay, selections with R1. Okay, so again, I didn't typically mess with that one that much. Grid color, you can grid it a different color and what's not. Profile, we used to use this one in the past. So if you want to set AutoCAD 2 profile for yourself, one 3D profile for CAD and one 2D. So you can go here and set current as your profile, add another profile, have multiple profiles. That's for professional guys. For what we do is the default profile is good enough for our application. So can I get you guys to give me a thumbs up? Know that option exists and you can change things from option. That's all what I want to know. That they exist and they can make you can change a lot of stuff from options. Okay, so we got that one. Let me see if we got these. Should probably copy some of this stuff for you. Okay, so we got these. So any comments, guys, about the ribbon home? Can you guys see it's home here? It says home. All the stuff that we just went through over here under one ribbon. It's called home. Everybody can see that? So Matt, my friend, when you do draw and all this good stuff, you're going to spend a lot of time under the ribbon home. So if you're looking for modify and you couldn't find it, it's because you were under a different tab, different ribbon. Okay, so let's go to, so we went through draw. We went through modify. I will go through layers tomorrow. We went through the text. Properties. We talked about when you highlight something, you can get properties. Under utilities, the one that I use a lot is measure. We can measure distances. Under clip, you can paste and copy. These are common things that we use under these. Any comments, guys, about under home? Home. Now I'm going to take you, before we'll get back again to layers and monkeying around with them and what we use them and so forth. I'm going to go to insert. Then you move into insert. When you move into insert, there is a lot of stuff that you can insert, guys. But when it comes to insert, the single most important thing that we use a lot when it comes to the insert is that function called attach. Highlight attach, will you? Just hover over it. When you say attach, it says insert an XREF image, DWG, PDF. All these options are allowed to insert. When it comes to insert, if you want to write yourself a note, insert, we use it mostly to attach an X reference. X reference. A background from the architect so we can work on it, or a tile block that we want to frame our drawings with it. So that's probably the most important function here, my attach. There's a couple of other things, attribute and so forth, but attached is the function that we use a lot. Design center, can you guys see that design center? Design center will allow you to bring all your drawing, all your symbols, or your symbols that we use for your drawings. We'll bring them through the so-called design center. So these are the two things that come to my mind when it comes to insert, and then we will be using them. We will be using them. So the design center as well as the attach. Annotate, that's for your dimension and so forth. Layout, don't use it a whole lot. Parameters, I don't use it a whole lot. View, can you guys go to view? View, the most important things about view is something called tool palette. Do you remember, Derek, when we brought the tool palette? I want you to click on that little tool palette. What do you see on the side here when you bring a tool palette? Bring in already loaded symbols for you, already loaded symbols in the software. So you grab that symbol and you put it here, and here you go. Here's my symbol. So you can enter. So you can, these are electrical. Let's look electrical. Here's a couple of things that you can grab electrical. So these are symbols that are already done for you. The scale, my scale is wacko here, but here's my symbol. Can you guys see the symbol that I brought here? So you can bring an already loaded set of symbols for you to work with. So if I want another switch here, can you guys see that? Look at this. You can add whatever you want to do with it. There you go. But be careful the scale that you're bringing, yeah? So you can build a control system from here, a complete control system. Again, that's not what we're going to be using. But, and if you guys, can you guys see how it disappears? If yours does not show up, it's because the scale that we're using is completely different. They're coming at different scales. Do me a favor. Can you guys click on tool palette again? What happened when you click on it again? Disappears. It disappears. So that's probably one of the most important things under view is the tool palette. The tool palette will have all your symbols. All your symbols, guys, will be with part of your tool palette. Right next to it, and again, I will help you guys load the tool palettes and all this stuff. Can you guys see viewports? Viewports, to see the viewports, can you guys flip into, can you go to layout 1? Go to layout 1, will you? And do me a favor, when you go to layout 1, click on that viewport and delete it. Click on what you see and delete. Can I have thumbs up when you guys delete whatever is there? Do you see anything other than a blank piece of paper? Okay, now, if you go to, I'm sorry, this is, you have to go under insert here, and then you view it. Insert viewport. Where's my viewport, Chad? Oh, no, it should be view. Okay, here you go. Views, viewport manager. I always get them. Okay. I need viewport. Why is it viewport configuration set? Where the heck is the viewport manager now? Is it under insert? Does anybody can see a viewport? Can you guys?
Yeah, if you go under view, it should be view manager.
View manager,
Yeah.
layout. Okay, that's a 2013.
Better if you just type in viewports.
Yeah.
If you're in mind, it'll come up with that.
Okay, here's a view. Top view. That's a change in layout view. Okay. I don't know. Now that's a change in viewport. Ouch. 2D views. So you should be able to find a view and drop a view here. Where did you find it?
I just type in viewport, it works best and just go to command line.
View port. Enter. Okay. Single viewport. And click. You got it. Okay. So that's a viewport, but I don't know where they went here. So if you type, by the way, everything that we clicked, everything that is asked you to click on, guys, you can always type it too. That's another thing. You can type them. With CAD, you can either type or pick the stuff. I'm visual. I tend to look at things. So if you type viewport, here's a viewport. With the viewport, you can size them. I want to size this viewport here. What you can do with viewports, guys, click on it. Go back to home. You can copy. Right click and where's my, you can copy and paste it. I moved it in this case, but you can move your viewport from one location to another. You can copy your viewport, right click. I actually rotate. You can rotate your viewport exactly like you do anything else. You can copy your viewport, click on it, right click. You can copy a viewport. Okay, skip. Can you guys see that you can do the same anything you're gonna do with your viewport that you can do with anything else? So I want to go back again. Okay, you can expand your viewport. So can you guys give me a thumbs up that chat? We know how to copy it, rotate it, expand it, make 3 of it, whatever. Now, the last thing I want to do for a viewport is double click on it. When you double click inside the viewport, it will turn it into a model space. So when you double click on it, can you guys see it becomes, the border becomes thicker, right? Can you guys see that? Now hit Z, enter, E, enter. Oops. So that should give me Z, enter, E, enter. It should zoom into all your stuff if you're set right, if you set your stuff right. Mine, of course, there was a lot of other stuff. So you can zoom. Can you guys see zoom inside it? When you're done, you can double click anywhere outside that zone, and now you get yourself a paper, the stuff that you did. So you're not going to do it this way, guys. We do scaling. We scale it later on. But I want you to know you can double click on it and pull things in and out. So I really care less. I just want to show on this view all this stuff. That's all what I care about. I don't want to show anything else, right? Here you go, double click. And here's your stuff. Okay, any comments about the viewports? So you can have multiple viewports in the same drawing. So if I want to do, let's just say grab this one, size it up a little bit. And oh yeah, if you cut your viewport, you can your stuff can disappear. Look at that, my stuff disappeared now. Double click again. You can bring it back. So here you go. So you can bring it back at the top. Double click here. Let's go copy that viewport. Click. I'm going to copy that baby. Click here. And I'm going to put it right in here. So I have another viewport, 2 viewports. So I'm going to size this one just to show this. And the second one, show the bottom, show everything else. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but can you guys see that you can copy a viewport, delete a viewport, rotate a viewport, adjust a viewport? So that's what obviously when we do design, electrical, we do the viewport in a certain way and we stick with it. Typically 95% of what we do is one single viewport, but you will be in a situation here with me where we're going to be using 3 viewports in the same drawing. So the easiest way is either viewport, like we said, another new viewport, but the easier thing is copy the existing one and adjust it to what you want. And they don't have to be the same size, guys, as you know. Look at that. I can have a viewport that comes from here. Look at this, sitting right and up to here. Look at, say, even shape-wise, I can click on it and hold it and drag it and put it right in here, adjust it in the drawing. So when you print, it will print wherever you put the viewport. I want to bring to your attention, guys, when you print, can you guys see these dotted line around the perimeter of the paper? Anything inside the dotted line will be printed when you send it to the printer. Anything outside the dotted line will not be printed. For example, suppose everything right now will print. Suppose I grab this and I put it right here. Can you guys see that? Half of that thing, anything to the left of that dotted line will not print. Can you guys see that? So if you go, or if I grab this viewport and put it right here, will not print. That white paper is your printing area. Not just that white paper, the dotted line around the white paper is your perimeter. So as you design your viewport, you shall not grab that one, drag it. You shall not cross that dotted line. You don't want to do it this way. You want it to always be inside the dotted line. Now what happened, this is 8.5 by 11. What happened if you need bigger paper? We size the paper, and that's what we're going to do. I don't want to do it today and confuse you with that one. Any comments, guys, about the viewports? Playing with viewports in a piece of paper, viewports. So what is a viewport? A viewport is a window on what you have been doing here. So for example, here you go, Karen, you were cooking all this good stuff right in here and all your stuff, and you just want to focus on, remember, we just want to focus on this. So the viewport will give you a window. So if I come here, the second layout will have completely different viewport. So if I want to Z enter, E enter for that one. So here's my viewport here. So let's, where was, I don't know where that little deal that we brought, but you can make things look different in the second viewport. There you go. I can double click here and make sure my grid is there too, if I want my grid. See how it turns it on and off. So the second layout could have the same viewport or completely different viewport. Or actually completely different size of paper altogether. Any question, guys, about the viewports? So viewports go with the paper. Space, not the model space, the paper space. Viewport. So all right, so like everything else, you don't want the viewport. What do? Hit delete, pick it up, hit delete, it's gone. If your paper has no viewports, you shall not, you can't print it. You can't print anything. Still don't know where that one went. Okay, so that's my viewport, viewports. All right, so let's see. User interface. All right, so if you hit viewport, type of viewport, get in, get single viewport, and then you can grab another click, and that will get you another viewport. So you type viewport, you got yourself a viewport. The interesting thing with Revit, every year, guys, we get new Revit or CAD, and then things are located, it shifts slightly, not a lot, so it's enough to confuse you. But We'll always get around that. Any comments, guys? Any questions about that? Is that enough, guys, to get you into the monkeying around with it a little bit? So that's what I wanted to. So I don't know. So I don't want to get into the layers and setting up the pages and all this stuff because it will confuse you. Um, so do me a favor. For the rest of the class, guys, I'm going to stop right here. And what I would like you to do is just jump into what we did. Go copy things. Just play with it and ask me if you have any question. So let's spend the day today just exercising. Go type a text, adjust the text. Make sure you know how to copy it, to paste, snap. Cool. So that the stuff that we did will give you the rest of the day just to monkey around with them. And because ultimately I will not ask you to do this, it will be what I'm teaching right now is like reading and writing. And later on, you're going to write an essay. I'm not going to say put the letters next to each other, they will make a word. Okay. Any comments, guys, about what we did? So just to summarize, we went over, guys, the difference between the model space and the paper space, right? In the model space, we went over how to draw and modify certain things, how to measure them with the scale like we did, how to put text and modify and adjust the text. In the paper space, we went over the viewport, how to do the viewport, add viewport, adjust viewport. We'll talk about scaling the viewport and all this good stuff. And then we talked about when you go to options here, how to do certain settings for your CAD when you start working with it. So between the options on the setting, the paper space, the model space, and also the icon at the bottom here that you can set up ortho or snap to object and so forth. Any comments, guys? Any questions? Is that a good starting point to start with? Okay, I will stop right here. And then I would like you guys to keep working when I take a quick break. By the way, this